Good morning, Marlowe, and happy Friday. We have a very fun Marlowe Moments this week. As we roll into the end of the year, we thought it would be fun to think of some one-liners our teachers say, or some noted behaviors. So let's have some fun with this. We're going to give you a clue and ask that you shout out the teacher's name if you know who it is. Here we go. What 7th grade teacher always says questions, comments, or concerns? She teaches literacy. Anyone? If you guessed Mrs. Johnson, you were correct. Next, what PE teacher starts each lesson with shouting, "Let's get ripped"? Waiting. If you guessed Mr. Frederick, you were correct. Which math teacher says pause, drawn out in her recorded videos? She teaches 8th grade. Thinking? If you guessed Mrs. Rubin, you got it. What 6th grade teacher begins each lesson with Buongiorno? She teaches literacy. Mrs. Heimsath. What 7th grade teacher always says, "I'm going to come after you with a wet noodle"? Tick tock, tick tock. She teaches math. If you guessed Mrs. Coleman, you were correct. Which social studies teacher refers to himself as a historian-type geeky dude? He teaches 8th grade. It's Mr. Hanflond. What 7th grade teacher always calls their students ladies and gents? Anyone? There are 2 of them. If you guessed Mrs. Motz and Mrs. Hayashi, you were correct. What 6th grade teacher always says, "Don't be an electron, be a proton"? She teaches science. Who is it? Mrs. Bolt. What exploratory teacher always begins each lesson with one clap of his hands? Anyone? He teaches you have to speak clearly. If you guessed Mr. Petriniak, you were correct. Which science teacher shouts "Good morning" with the loudest voice and wakes up students through physical exercise? Thinking. He teaches 8th grade. Mr. Regan. What 7th grade teacher always begins his morning with "Welcome, welcome"? Anyone? He teaches 7th grade math. If you guessed Mr. Hagberg, you got it. What literacy teachers says, "Keep on keeping on"? She teaches 6th grade. Mrs. Rutowski. Next, what 7th grade teacher always says, "You people are driving me crazy"? Anyone? She teaches 7th grade science, and we know she loves us. If you guessed Mrs. Walters, you were correct. What teacher does random funny things and says, "My man," all of the time? Anyone? Anyone? He teaches us about our past. If you guessed Mr. Starnes, you were correct. What teacher always announces that fractions are our friend? She teaches 8th grade. It's Mrs. Mahaffey. What science teacher has a laugh that wakes her students up? She also teaches 8th grade. Miss Smith. Which teacher in the music department ends directions with questions, comments, concerns if it's paranoia and or any alien stories? Did you guess Mr. Camarda? Which social studies teacher always announces "I digress" when becoming off topic during a lesson? She teaches 8th grade. Mrs. Smith. What math teacher always says, "'Cause I can," and passes out suckers and Jolly Ranchers? He teaches 6th grade. Who other than Mr. Hemingway? And finally, what 7th grade teacher always refers to her students as peeps? Anyone? She teaches literacy. If you guessed Mrs. Moran, you were correct. How fun was that? We all know we have the best teachers around at Marlowe. We would like to thank all of you for what has been a fantastic and fun year. We hope everyone, teachers included, enjoyed this Marlowe Moment segment. Until next time, hit it, Henry.